Planned very few episodes of those kinds. Now, are we planning a PR strategy? Are we equipping ourselves for it? I would give you two examples on how communication, not just media relations, can give you very great results. In 1981, I was in Coal India. 84. M.S. Gujral, former Railway Board chairman, was our chairman, and we had the Dhanbad Mafia. And Dhanbad Mafia was playing havoc with our collieries in Dhanbad and Asansol. He called me one day, our chairman, and said, Bhargav, can you have this story published in the Hindustan Times tomorrow? I said, tell me, what is it? So he gave me the text. I went to the Hindustan Times bureau in Calcutta, gave them the story, published the next day. At 9 o'clock when I walked into the office, those days we were not allowed STD facility at home on official telephones. So I said, I do not know whether the story has come or not, but by 11 o'clock we'll get the paper. He said, well, sit down, a lot has happened since the story has been published in Hindustan Times. P.C. Alexander, Cabinet Secretary, reads the morning newspapers while having his cup of tea. He read the story and called up M.S. Gujral. Gujral, is what was written in the Hindustan Times true? He said, yes. He says, well, we have taken the following action, and by 9:30, Suraj Dev Singh, the mafia don, will be behind bars. And Bindeshwari Dubey, the Chief Minister of Bihar, will confirm it in about 20 minutes' time from now. The value of communication put effectively was one example. The second example, when you really look at it, in government sector, most of us identify ourselves with the chairman believing company and the chairman are one and the same thing. Well, 30 years ago, I would agree it was the right way of looking because chairmen were committed to the company. But today when you have IAS people also donning chairs in public sector undertakings, their priorities are aligned somewhere else, not necessarily with the company. Air India has been one shining example. So in 2005, early 2005, now what everybody knows it now that Air India is bankrupt, but I'm talking of 2005, a good 8 years ago. They were on a spending splurge, plundering taking place, everything was on. Now the question was, how does a PR man go and tell the chairman that what you are doing is wrong? You just cannot do it. So I said, let me do one thing to him. And most PSU companies have this tradition of occasionally bringing out a letter from the chairman's desk. I said, let me draft a letter to the employees from the chairman and write in that everything that I want to tell the chairman. That if you do not take these effective measures, company will sink. We need to increase productivity, we need to increase revenues, we need to cut down costs, and we need to be customer friendly because of rising competition. I thought I had done a remarkable strategy and I put that letter to him. Chairman approved the draft. I sent back the final one and he signed it and it got circulated. I thought probably the message has been delivered. The message was delivered, but the priorities were so strong. Now, in these kind of situations that we will get to see more and more in the coming period, how does a PR man function? Media on one side, the environment within the company on the other side. The changes that are taking place are too large and too fast. We need to be working out. When Anand Sharma, let me be Anand Sharma for 5 minutes. When he announced the policy on FDI and retail, whole lot of criticism from everywhere. After the criticism in the 9 o'clock programs of all the television channels in the evening, came the clarification from the government as to how many million people would gain, how the farmers would benefit, how everybody else would gain, and all those kind of the positive sides came out. If a professional communication, keeping in view the market environment that we have, the communication need that we have, and if I was to be his advisor, I would have told him, Mr. Anand Sharma, do one thing. give an elaborate press conference, not just policy announcement, which we normally do. We are trying to be scarce on words. I do not know why. The medium is available. Go and elaborate as much as you can. Anand Sharma, to the press conference, to the media people now. The Agricultural Ministry has given out that this is the kind quantum of loss that the country suffers because we do not have storage capacity, we do not have all the kind of chain. The customers end up paying so many rupees, so many times more because of the vast long chain and long number of middlemen kind of a thing to go by. To overcome these two problems, we looked at the following options: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of these 7 options that we looked at, we found retail, FDI and retail to be the best option for the following reasons: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And therefore, the government of India has decided to move forward on the FDI and retail. Now, comes the basic point. Any decision will invite criticism. Let me anticipate the criticism now. I'm a politician, minister and a politician. I'm saying what we want to put across to it, that the Bharatiya Janata Party, the principal opposition party, will react in this manner because it has a certain constituency to serve. The leftist members of parliament will react in this manner because of this kind of thing to serve. There is excessive information put in the public domain. You are blunting the kind of criticism that is happening. And imagine the News Hour program on Times Now at 9 o'clock when the spokesperson of Congress and BJP are there, or the leftist parties are there. Now, communication, when we are talking in terms of fourth generation, is looking ahead, preparing yourself, what is needed to be given, put in public domain, how it needs to be packaged, who to be delivered, when to be delivered, everything is to be answered. And who will do that? A professional communicator. So communicator's role has moved from what it was perceived as in the 70s, 90s, and the earlier part of this decade to what it should be as we go forward. The main purpose of such a forum should also be to look at the kind of changes that are taking place. What is needed and what kind of workshops can be conducted, can be held. I have very often told Mr. Rajpal and Mr. Jairam, try and reorient PRCI conventions also with workshops. If you have to put yourself questions after being 20 years in the job, can I address a press conference all by myself? Can I go and represent the company in a television channel, 9 o'clock program all by myself? Put yourself these questions. And if you find that there is something amiss, then you also look at, because one thing that we have very often stated is, we are not of sufficient level in the management hierarchy. The onus lies on the PR practitioners to create enough confidence in the management that I can do it. And there is no reason why the management would not like to give away this responsibility to the professional communicator in the company whom they have hired, rather than take on this additional onus, barring those isolated cases where somebody wants publicity on television. But for serving companies' interest, professional communicators will have to play a decisive role. The onus is on all of you to equip yourself, train yourself, because PR is no longer only about writing. Management, I must know what is happening in the engineering department, what is happening on the export front, what is happening on the financial front. A simple information available. I can certainly seek details because it's no longer a postman's job. A media query comes to me, I refer to the concerned department, the department sends it back to me, and I will give it to the media. You have to do it because time is of the essence. Television media will not wait. Now, these were just thoughts to help you think about it. Where am I in the whole scheme of things in the changing scenario? What is needed to be done and what in my company should be done so that in 2015, when more changes take place and more television penetration takes place at the district level and they become more incisive to fill up the 24/7 coverage, your company can stand in good stead. Thank you very much.